Am I giving Kill Bill or what? Not to steal your moment here, Elaine, but I think you actually meant Pulp Fiction. I don't think you could look further from Uma Thurman if you tried. All right, camera collection. Thank you so much to the person who suggested that I do one of these, because I had run out of ideas. Now, I'd be remiss not to start off by mentioning the camera that I'm filming with, which is a top-of-the-line Logitech webcam. I know you guys are gonna be rushing out to grab one of these after seeing the video quality on this, and you must be wondering as well, like, how I was able to afford this. You know, I just had so much money left over after spending it on 50-year-old film cameras that I was able to afford a top-of-the-line camera to film myself. So there you go. That's why I look so great. Let's go in chronological order. The first one I got is this Olympus, and please just pretend from here on out that this webcam can focus. Stylus, Mew. Oh, you're too close. Oh, you're still too close. You're still too close. It really doesn't want to take a photo of you. There you go. I got this camera. Oh, there was actually film in that. Oh, my bad. I thought it was empty. I guess I actually used a shot on that. Now, I got this camera because I was a dumbass once upon a time, and I did what every amateur film enthusiast did. I went on Google and I went on YouTube and I wrote, best point and shoot cameras for beginners. The YouTube echo chamber of cameras brought me to this and ended up having me spend over $200 on this stupid camera. And I thought that was normal. Why did none of you tell me before? The guy I bought this from is literally the person I directly quoted in my lovely How to Be a Film Photographer video with the Leica. Oh, what I shoot with? Oh, I shoot with the Leica. Have you ever heard of that? Anyway, YouTube is the worst for that. So if you're buying cameras, please don't look on YouTube. Just buy the cheapest fucking thing you find on Facebook Marketplace. Fun quirk about this camera that I wanted to share. There is a date printer stamp on it, but when it was manufactured, probably in the 1960s, they probably thought the world was gonna end in 2010 because the date actually doesn't go past like 2010. That's how old these cameras are, and you guys are spending $200 on them. But I will say the lens is pretty good. I will throw up some photos for you to see here. One thing to note with this camera is I always forget. It doesn't take a photo if it's too close to something and it hasn't focused. And if it's in the dark, it just also doesn't focus very well. I'm pretty happy with the lens. Overall, for me just wanting to have a point and shoot that would fit in my pocket, it is perfect for that. That's where the obsession started. You definitely want something more than that once you've gotten a taste for burning all your money. Okay, next I wanted a half frame camera. I found the cheapest half frame camera I could find on eBay, shipped from Japan. It was a Pen EES-2. It looked so cool, and I loved the fact that it was fully mechanical. There was no batteries, and I think the selenium cell metering the light is so cool about it. I just had two knocks against it. One, it's a viewfinder camera, and I would always take photos of things and then have something else show up in the frame that I didn't want. Second, I would always forget to focus the camera. I took one roll with that camera, and I think there's one photo that's in focus. So I just decided to sell that one off, but I still liked the half frame format. So I decided to go with an SLR from the Olympus Pen line. I found an Olympus FT online as well. Let's take a shot. Oh fuck, there's no autofocus. This whole time there was no autofocus? Very satisfying sound. This one is all around truly such a beautiful camera. I am very lucky to have it. There were many complaints online that the viewfinder was very dark and hard to see through. I don't find that to be an issue if you shoot it outdoors. My issue with cameras like these with no flash is that I am never outdoors. In this economy, we're not going outdoors. We have our day jobs that we need to do, so I hardly ever shoot this camera. I decided that I wasn't done with the Olympus SLR cameras though. I loved the look of that one so much. So I found an OM10 selling online as well for $30. And I snapped it up. It is battery powered with a light meter, and it will not work if you don't put a battery in it. I learned that the hard way. I thought it was broken, but you do have to put batteries in it, and then it will work. The OM10 is an aperture priority camera, which is perfectly suited for this camera unless you're taking sports photography. If you are definitely a masochist. I really commend you though. I will not be taking sports photos with this camera, but if you do, please let me know. I have a manual adapter on it, but I hardly ever use it in manual. This lens takes beautiful photos. I love this lens. Once again, never use it because it is an outdoors only kind of situation. It is a daylight only kind of situation. We are lucky if we can afford to eat in this economy, much less get 10,000 steps. After I got those cameras, I realized I can't really take photos indoors. I need flash. Also, ideally, I don't want to fucking wind the camera. True story, when I tried to wind the film spool of the OM10 once, it got super stuck. So I brought it to the film lab and I asked them to like deal with it for me. And they just told me like, hey, you dumb bitch, you actually just have been spooling it in the wrong way. I'm too Gen Z to be winding the film myself. Can't have that. Lucky for me, I found a Canon EOS Rebel G for $16 on eBay. I love that these Canon cameras from the terminal generation of film cameras are so cheap. I know it's definitely because they're ugly as shit. If you are a hipster and you're buying film cameras, you kind of want the aesthetic. This doesn't fit that. This looks like a digital camera. So you can get these for a discount and you can throw any current Canon E-mount lens right on this baby. I have on it a 40mm prime lens. This is definitely my favorite camera to use overall. It has a manual mode, aperture priority mode, shutter priority mode. Does it? For you crazy people taking sports photos on film. It also has a bunch of like modes like landscape and portrait. I never use those. Also does a burst feature. Burst feature on film? That's crazy. Cool thing on this is it's got an autofocus ring and most of the time if I'm actually taking photos with people in them, I really cannot be bothered to manually focus. There's an autofocus light that comes on to measure the distance of your subject. The autofocus hardly ever misses because of it. And I like that it's kind of ugly. Makes me feel very connected to it spiritually. Okay, last but not least, remember when I told you to find the cheapest camera on Facebook Marketplace and just use that? I'm realizing I should eat my words because I found this Ricoh AF-2 on Facebook Marketplace for $15. I was stoked. I immediately took like 3 hours off from work to just bus out to find this girl. I'm sure she thought I was a serial killer or something, like I was like on this camera so fast. It's just a point and shoot camera, but I love how boxy and brick-like these work. I would love to take a sample photo for you guys, but for real, this camera stopped working halfway through its first roll. All right, guys, that's it. Hope it gave your brain the dopamine it was expecting. If not, I don't know, I guess I'll never see you again. Bye.